Hi folks, and welcome back to the Garden of Eden here. So something I've quickly done off screen is I've ordered some moats to be dug out in front of the bunker here. Should hopefully give us a better line of fire. We will have to be careful that people in the farmland don't get caught out. Aside from that, I think we're just about good to go. We do have this wall up here that I've been meaning to investigate. I'm thinking that's probably going to be an ancient danger, so we want to stay away from that until we're ready to deal with it. We're going to allow time to pass here. We do have M who's wounded. It's been a solid week or so since I've been able to play. Okay, just a cracked rib and a slight bruising, so that shouldn't be too bad. A large portion of the base here is, well, the interior of what will become our base has been dug out. That's good to see. We'll have to dig out this steel and replace those with constructed walls, but that's not an issue. So bedrooms, I think that was designated as a hospital, and this is a rec room. No, that was a toilet, this was a rec room. These were storage, this was production, this was hospital, this was rec room. Okay, I'm back on topic. It's been a little while since I've played, I haven't had time. I had a lot of work creep up on me. So we're just going to make a mud moat here, and this should hopefully slow down invaders, give our turrets a little bit more time to work on them. They can, of course, just ignore and walk across the stone here, so we are going to have to build some walls there to stop them doing that. Seems like James and Emma quickly running through this. Do we have a stone cutter's table yet? Nice, we can now produce our own medicine. I think we want to look into carpet making. Steven's is doing our cooking. Let's see, how are we for food? Not the best I've ever seen, and we don't actually have that much in there to make food out of. We have a few hundred potatoes, I guess, so it definitely could be worse. I guess we're just going to let... That's fine. We're just going to let this tick along for now. We have an absolute crap ton of food up there that's planted. It would be nice to get this sealed off so that they could only come from this way, at least until they bring like grenadiers and tunnelers. But we can put some turrets up here at some point as well, just to give those sappers a little bit of a harder time. Now then, 4 beds is not enough, so what we're going to do once we can, these will all become visitor beds. This entire thing will become visitors. And inside here will be where we live. But that's a long way off yet. We have to smooth all of this out. We have to lay a bunch of carpet down, a bunch of flooring. I don't mind if my visitors burn to death, but I'd rather my colonists didn't live in a wooden structure permanently. Caravan request. We don't care about that. I haven't played it all with the world map function. It's been that long since I've really played the game. I've played since it came out, but I've never experimented with it. It was out very, very briefly last time I played. I think that actually drew me back for a week or two, and then I just kind of stopped. Sounds like that moat construction's going pretty quickly, actually. Rose, what level are you on construction? 12, that's pretty good. Once all this mining is done, we're going to involve a lot of stone smoothing. And I can't remember, did we find if we had a stonecutter's table? We do. Let's see, what are we digging out here? Granite, okay, yeah, perfect. Granite chunks, do forever. Now who's on crafting? Okay, so pretty much nobody. Oh no, we don't want Rose doing it. M, you're pretty bad, but I would like you to prioritize that. The digging's nearly done, which means we're almost onto the construction phase in here. That is going to be a lengthy process. Psychic Soothe, even better. And walk speed is 25%. That's pretty great if we can force people to walk across that. So we're going to be using the granite blocks to replace these walls, and we're going to smooth out the ones that we can't replace. It's not the most attractive solution, but it'll be better than the wooden things, I think. I don't think the colonists particularly like wooden buildings. Mila has the Go Frenzy. Let's check on weapons quickly. Okay, Rose doesn't seem to be armed. I think she's non-violent. We have a pistol, a shiv, nothing, and the pulse rifle. Stevens, do we have any weapons around? Are you non-violent? Yeah, you can't do violence. Okay, that makes some sense. Okay, M, why aren't you happy? Cargo pods, let's take a look. An absolute cacton of corn. I am a-okay with that. So how many? We're up to 200 of those. That should be enough to construct at least the bits we need in here. So we're going to want one there. We're going to want a freezer unit in there. Actually, we might want two, because we're going to try and cool this bit as well. We are going to want that area walled off. But we're going to want a door in it, just in case we ever want to dig through. There is some resources down there we could use. We might want to use it for like a natural cavern storage at some point. Maybe turn it into some protected farmland. There are ways you can do that. I've forgotten what it is. Now, I'm not entirely sure what we'll do with this. We might leave this storage up, but just bring the more valuable stuff inside. Turn off these, and leave bulk storage outside, and just have our freezer in here for our medicine and our food. So it looks like Rose isn't having any trouble constructing the granite blocks. This does take a lot longer than constructing with wood, obviously. But it looks like people are doing okay. Okay, so we're going to want granite walls. Now these granite doors on the inside are going to take a long time to open and close compared to wooden ones. But they are a lot harder to break, so I am a-okay with it. This place is also liable to get the insect infections in it, because it's completely uninhabited, plenty of space for them. So we may drop a turret or two in here. We'll have to wait and see. Do we have anyone else who's on the construction? Stevens. Okay, you're not particularly good at it, but we have a lot that needs done. So what else do you do, Stevens? Handle, you cook. Okay. We do have another cook in Mila. Ah, and you research. Okay, so Stevens is our tech. Of course, the smoke leaf joints. They keep everybody quite happy. They do slow people down, but they make it much harder to, well, not that much harder, but they do make it a little bit harder for psychic breaks to happen. So the interesting part's going to come up soon, where we have to start smoothing all of this. We'll have to lay the plumbing down and all of the electrics. Then we'll have to add in a bunch of floors. How much cloth do we have? Like 500, so we might be able to get the bedrooms done to start off with, so at least the bedrooms look a little bit nicer. And that's probably where we're going to start, is getting our people moved into here. Because they're our most valuable resource. We've already lost one. We lost poor Neme. And they'll be a lot safer in here. Except from mortar fire. If I remember rightly, which I think I do, mortars can just pass through the top of the mountain for some bizarre reason. Now we're going to go for wooden doors here. They're much quicker to open, and if something makes it this far down, that it's, you know, killing our colonists, I think we're already done at that point. Okay, we have carpet making, that's good. We have a lot of the things we would need to start building our own weapons, but not quite to the degree that I would like. We don't have many components, so we don't want to waste them on the lower tier weapons. Okay, it looks like, yeah, we're going to put these just on 3. Anything that requires skill, they won't do, but if they have the spare time, those guys will build something. And I think we're going to put hauling and cleaning to 2 on everybody. Looks like we don't have any... Yeah, we don't have any of those granite blocks left already. So we will have to order someone to do that first thing in the morning. Psychic Stew is ending, but that's fine because we have narcotics. Just say yes to drugs, kids. That one bed is upside down. That's going to bug me, but hey ho. We have more pressing concerns. Now we can actually make our own medicine once we get around to it. And this is on triple speed. You should try playing this game on single speed. Nothing gets done. Ever. Okay, we have an eclipse. I don't think we have any other... Oh yeah, we have the geothermal, so we should be fine. That thing pumps out an absolute ton of power, more than we're using in our entire base right now. So, you were doing a lot of the mining. You also hunt, you construct, you grow, you mine. Mining's pretty much your thing, But, I also want him crafting. Looks like he prefers to craft smoke leaf, which is fine, that's a trade resource. But once he's done this set, I would honestly rather he craft the stone blocks we need to finish off our construction. So we are going to use this granite to build defensive walls as well. Oh. Minor break risks, that's fine for now. So let's see just how much. It takes 7 per tile. So no, we are not going to have... we'll have enough to do 1 row of these bedrooms. But that's it's going to have to be enough for now. We also have all the electrics and stuff to put in here and all the furniture, so that should keep people busy. It would be nice to have a second, like, good constructor. I guess we'll just have to wish on that point. Why don't... Oh, you have heat stroke. That's not good. It is like 50 degrees outside in the shade. It is a little bit warmer in the house at least. We may have to rescue people if they go down. I don't really have the components to spend on more cooling right now. We'll have to find a way to either make those, or do we have any on the map lying around? I think I saw some when we landed. Yes, we have compacted machinery over here. It's a place I was avoiding because it's right next to what could possibly be ancient danger. Any of these walls, it's possible that within them are ancient machines or ancient colonists, or both. And they don't particularly like to be woken up, especially not by you plowing your way through their walls with a pneumatic pickaxe. Now there's a mega sloth down there. We might try and tame this. Emphasis on the might. Those can be used as pack animals, I believe. I know for a fact that muffalos can. But I also know that that thing is a lot of food, and we don't have that much right now. How long until our corn's ready? Oh yeah, that'll be done in a day or two, and then we'll be fine. What is Rose constructing now? Oh, the final door. Okay, that's fine. So this smoothing job also takes construction skill, I believe, and that's a that's from a mod, which just means instead of having to tear down each and every one of these walls and rebuild it with stone, you just carve it to look mildly not offensive to your eyes. There we go, on the way to lay down the first set of carpets. It will be nice to get people in here into some nicer accommodation. Should improve some moodlets. They want to ensure their safety. Like the guys, the rooms that you'll be staying in are not even slightly air conditioned, guys. Smoke leaf does rot. Oh yeah, we can't even freeze our meals right now. It's too hot. Even with 2 of these temperature control units working, it's just too hot out here. Let's see, how many guests do we have? Just 1. And her name is Lurcher. Oh no, we have 2. Okay, so who was our best social person again? Who was our negotiator? James. Well, James, let's see what these people have to trade. We might be able to sell them our smoke leaf joints. Let's slaughter that ibex though. We don't care too much about it. Okay, let's see here. So, they don't have much money, and they don't really have much of anything that we want. I guess we'll just sell them all of these, like, really terrible weapons that we've had from invaders, just to get them out of our inventory, and it is a little bit more currency to be spending, so that's not a waste. Okay, we have our gas operation. We're going to get precision rifling, and then hardened components maybe. And then we might actually have Stevens lay off the research for a while, and have it contribute more to constructing our little haven fort there. Oh, 20 grilled steaks. I think that was it. Was that a compacted steel meteorite? Okay, we'll have that too. There's no reason not to add that to the list of things to be mined, seeing as we have someone who loves mining. So I think we're oh, apparently a squirrel self-tamed has now been eaten by a lynx. We're not too bothered about that. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to skip forward until some interesting things happen, and I'll bring you back then, folks. So bringing you back here. I don't know why this uses F10 as a screenshot thing only on Rimworld. We have a raid coming in. I haven't checked it out yet. It looks like we have a bow, 2 people with melee weapons, looks like a spear and a knife, and a club. Our moats are nearly constructed, so they're going to have a bit of a tougher time getting across here, or here. The base, we haven't done much progress in here, as all our efforts have really been focused out here. The people who left us with quite a good mood. We did have a minor manhunter pack, mostly rats, but James did manage to pick up an infection from that. He's already doing quite well against it, because Mila has been doctoring to him. So they're going to prepare a while before they attack us. We also did mine a few extra components that we saw across the map from compacted machinery. But we didn't really find too many of them. There is still a little bit more down here that we can get. So we are going to designate those to be mined once James is feeling better. We of course could explore through all of these large areas. There might be some compacted machinery on offer inside that we can't see yet. Now then, let's take a proper look at these guys. Yeah, definitely knife, spear, club, bow. As long as we're inside, we should be okay. And this has given us just a little bit more time to improve our moat here. So there's no area where they can completely walk across. Sounds like someone is hitting something. James, how are you doing? How long is it till... Okay, you're going to need treatment in a few hours. We still only have the regular medicine. We're going to need to Yeah, these are the manhunter packs that we had, a bunch of rats. We still need to build the drugs lab to produce real medicine. And we're going to need that for bionic replacements as too. Do we actually have someone who... No. Okay, good. You can get what's called a prostrophile, and that is someone who really likes bionic limbs. They want to go full on Adam Jensen and just be nothing but prosthetics, only they did ask for it. So we're going to speed... Oh, there's the raid starting. Perfect-ish. So we're going to want Mila in here, along with M. There are only 2 really competent fighters. And we're going to want everyone else to skedaddle inside. Now, I really hope this guy doesn't blow up my turret again. Where the hell is M? Okay, M is going to be a while. And yep, they did blow up the turret. That really, really sucks. We do have a mod on for more turrets, and I think we're going to have to use some of the research tree from that there, because these guys literally just walked up with sticks and killed our defenses. And, you know, they might have actually just killed our colony. Nope. They're gone. Uplay. I've never once loaded up Uplay, but because I have games on Steam that require it, it's just how it goes. So we're going to assign this as a medical bed. Now that is our doctor who was just put down. So let's see who else we have who can doctor. We have James, who is down, and we have... No, that's it. What skill do you have, James? 9. Okay, so once Mila's brought in, we'll have James get out of his own rest bed very slightly. Okay, well, I guess that'll do. Just briefly to tend to Mila. Let's take a look, see what her health is actually like. Okay, so nothing was cut off, but she is quite heavily wounded. Stevens, you can unthingy now. Let's take a look. Minor blood loss, no immediate danger. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, we have a major infection here, and I guess that means who is our next best doctor? Stevens. Please tend to James. We need that infection kept on top of. I'm not sure if I've explained this yet, but essentially the 2 numbers there where it says infection major at 56% and immunity at 69%. If the immunity reaches 100%, the infection percentage will start to tick down because you'll gain immunity to it. If the infection reaches 100%, James will die. Looks like Mila doesn't have a shirt anymore as well, so we need to get some clothes manufacturing started up as soon as we can. Okay, so we survived that raid without too much problem. We don't have any more graves, so we are going to have to dig some more graves up here. Well, we don't have enough graves anyway. Gosh darn it. There we are. So it looks like James is up and about again. That's not really a good thing, but he's close enough to his immunity that I think I'm okay to just allow him to potter around now. Bed rest is quite helpful for dealing with injuries. And I forgot to heal M. Luckily the AI took care of that for me and put him in bed. Yeah, he has... he also has no missing limbs. That's great. Prosthetics are expensive, especially when you get the good bionic kind. Now, we are going to have to replace that turret. We have a local mad rat. Okay, guess M, you're on that again. Now, M is actually really terrible with that charge rifle, but poor Neme, the woman who was good with it, well, she's a bit lost to us on account of her being dead AF. So we just kind of have to make do with what we have here. We've nearly constructed the moat, and when we're done with that, we should be able to get on with building the base again. Mila's up and about. Somebody just picked up her revolver, so we're going to go have her re-equip that. It's an awful quality revolver, which really isn't helping her effectiveness in combat. There we are, the mortar's finished. So I think the girls should go inside now to smooth the stone, which is a lower priority construction job, because all it does is increase beauty. It doesn't actually do anything structural. But what it does mean is that we can order the construction of beds, dressers, and end tables. So these will be quite comfortable rooms once we actually get everyone in them. That takes a little bit of wood and metal. We're also going to start running our power through there now. We did get it part of the way, and that cable's going to look a little bit ugly. Ah, that's right, we need everything smooth before we can run power cables. That's why I was waiting. I knew there was a reason, but I'd forgotten what it was. Essentially, these rough-hewn walls, you can't lay cables in them, but the bricked-up walls you can. So what we need is to order the entire base to now be smoothed out. And this is going to be another couple of days' effort, at least. But it is better to get this stuff done now, while we don't actually need the base, than move in before it's done. If we absolutely have to, we can set up a zone in here for people to hide in. There we are. So that's going to take them quite a while. Now with the skill that Rose has, it's not going to take as long as it could. It's going to take about as long as it would take to build all of that. Looks like she's planning on laying out the wires first. Oh no, she's building the end tables. Yeah, that's fair. Stevens, what are you doing? You're sleeping. Consuming a meal, and now you're hauling wood to end table. Okay, so she's helping with the building. James, would you mind awfully hauling that corn for me? I'm not sure where you are. I assume he went down here to the components. Yes, he did, which is why we have 19 of those again. And that should... Yep, we're going to rebuild our turret there. We may have to build an extra one here and one at the front. It seems like one turret is just not... One turret combined with the mediocre capabilities of our current fighters is just not enough to hold off any reasonable kind of raid. The heavy melee raids are actually a lot more dangerous than people give them credit for. You think a bunch of skin-wearing rednecks with clubs wouldn't pose much of a threat, but you can survive quite a few hits in Rimworld and keep on fighting. So they are a pretty credible threat. This cavern here would also make a pretty great place to vent our heat into. Oh, escape pod. Serenity. Let's go rescue her. We don't want to capture her unless she is absolutely fantastic. Which, I mean, she's pretty good, but she's not. Yeah, we're sitting pretty here, so we'll capture her. If she wants to join us, she can. If not, we'll get some kind of boost for setting her free. I think we'll get, depending on a faction, the faction that she belongs to will like us more. Mila, how are you doing? You're pretty much ready to go as soon as you feel like it. Until then, we will have James doctor to Serenity, because she's going to die in like 5 hours. She has 2 gunshots and a cut, so whatever ship she ejected out from was not in a good place when she left it. I question James's choice of haircuts. Oh, lovely. Those are my favourite. Love it when those happen. Luckily, because of our crazy geothermal power, that didn't actually affect us too much. Geothermal is amazing, and when we have to, when we need it, we'll build another one up here. They are quite component heavy though, so Huh. Did not know that about guests. Essentially what that said, for those of you who skipped it, was if you please your guests enough, they will employ their trade within your colony. So farmers will farm, researchers will research, etc, etc. Okay. So Rose is going to build that, and that leaves the only construction as smoothing, I believe. What are you doing, Rose? You're going to maintain things. And it looks like Serenity decided to leave. That's fine. And of course, rebuild the steel improvised turret. Okay, so we're on to the smoothing now. We're going to pause the recording here again, because this is essentially going to be my existence until this is done. And I'll bring you back if anything cool. So welcome back. We've had another group of visitors roll up here. So first thing in the morning we will have... Who was it again? Who was our negotiator? James at 6. I think he was actually the best. Like, we have a group of really unsociable people here in the Garden of Eden. So we're going to speed time back up here. I did briefly designate the beds in here as guest beds just until we move in, just to make sure all of these guys have a place to sleep, just to improve their opinion of us. So James is awake. So James, I would like you to trade with Flea. Sounds like Emma's making more stone blocks. We are going to need those to wall off these areas, wall this off here. We've ordered this to be deconstructed, but there is just a lot of construction work going on right now. Ordered the placement for a new turret, but I haven't actually built it yet because we are researching right now. Oh, in the more vanilla turrets we're researching the military grade. Not much money here from this guy. He does have components. Price we would buy that for, let's see how much. Well, he only has one, so we'll just sell him. Yeah, we'll just sell him that. And that, I guess. And that. There we are, and that's most of his money. We got his component. We paid way more than we should have for that, but we are quite low, so it is what it is. Just double check around these areas, make sure I'm not missing any. I believe we've got all of the obvious ones. Oh no, there's one there. Didn't I already order that for mining ones? Ah well, but yep, we've got the obvious ones already. So we'll have to keep our eyes out. Rose is in here doing a bunch of smoothing. We're going to wait and see how long these visitors are here and what they think when they leave. And I think we're going to have M. Not M, I guess. I was going to assign M to have cleaning as a high priority. But I guess that's just not his thing. Now we have an absolute crap ton of smoke leaf joints now, like over 200 of them. So I think we're just going to... We're going to leave that at do until you have the 210. And I think we may change the crop in this zone, if we can select just this zone, that is. There we are. I think we'll change that to Devil Strand, so we can get some better coals made for ourselves. Rose is in here doing a smoothing, which once it's smooth, there are other commands we have, which are to etch it, to give it the brickwork pattern like this stuff here, and then to decorate it, which will allow people to make art on the walls, and that's going to really make these rooms like really high value, should really bring people's moods up. They're not all that massive. Like if we look at this woman's ugly environment and little pain, enough beds, so she's happy about that, extremely comfortable, tons of joy, low expectations. If these people stay this happy, they should leave us things. The last group that we had in actually left us a couple of packets of cigarettes. I think it was like 22 packs, which we can use to trade with people. I don't know where they are. We had like 20 something packs of cigarillos. I guess they got smoked. But that's a-okay. Yeah, we have enough beds and enough facilities here for everyone. Getting the plumbing in here is going to be a pain. We just have so much construction right now and Rose is the only one doing it. Go Frenzy. Mila, okay. We we briefly had Stevens helping out with construction, but she's back at research now because I really want those better turrets. Which is why we're going to build a spot for another better turret out the front here as well. Just to really get more angles covered. Sounds like someone's chopping trees down. Is that... Okay, these trees are 100% grown. That's nice. I built these here just to top up our wood every so often. We have a substantial amount, so it's probably time that we killed that zone. And just ordered the construction of these trees. Sorry, yeah, the harvesting of these trees. We did also get a big harvest of corn. We have like... We had nearly 2,000 of it. We've made a substantial amount of meals out of it already. Rose is making a progress in here, but that's going to be slow going. Once we've got these military turrets, we'll probably have Stevens help out again. We may even have M jump onto construction. Because I have a mod that means only the best constructor will build things that actually get assigned ratings. This day was okay. So, because they didn't all have good rooms, they decided that we weren't the best thing since sliced bread. That's fine. And yeah, seeing as we have the mod on that means that constructed things will only be done by the best person, which, despite her skill, art, the pony engraving on this furniture resembles Ludmilla Mila Fisher, threatening Alice Neme Nemo while Nemo punches her. Mila is consumed with passionate rage. A brother smiles beneath the main subject, while the square structure of the image almost conflicts with its heartfelt style. This representation relates to Mila attacking Neme on the 14th. So, when things are made particularly well, they can be assigned art on them. And so it seems like Rose, in her wisdom, decided to commemorate Neme in a fight. I'm not sure why she did that. Incapacitated, that's fine. We're not going to play around with the main map just yet. Oh, there's our packs of cigarellos. We got 22 of those. And you can see here, the Stoned on Smoke Leaf. 20% minus pain, minus 20% consciousness and moving, plus 30% hunger rate. But it does also give them... Oh yeah, high on Smoke Leaf. Gives them a 15 moodlet buff. You just have to make sure not to let them get too addicted. Because they will get a tolerance to it. And then, like, they'll take it all the time just to not have negative moodlets. So I think we're actually going to... we're going to go with no drugs. It's a shame one drink per day doesn't allow, like, one joint a day. That would be a nice option to have. It might do, actually. I haven't really played around with it too much. Looks like that was the last of those sodas that we got from the cargo pod drop. Now actually helping out, so we're going to be able to start running our power cables up a little bit further. What I really want by the end of this episode is to get our military grade turrets up so we can have a look at those. And also to plot out where mortars are in here. Mortars there. Okay, so once we're done, that's what we want. We want mortars. We have a few of the shells lying around, I believe. No, we don't. So we'll have to make our own shells as well. But once we've done that, we can essentially stick a mortar in here, and it can hit anywhere on the map. So if we get those guys who are out here preparing with their own mortars, we can start raining shells on them before they get there. It'll really help us project our firepower across a longer range. It'll also mean things like sappers who want to tunnel through these gaps won't be able to because they'll have mortars dropping on their head. That's a bear. That's something we need to pay attention to. So once this, we'll carry on up until we've done our research, got our military grade turrets, deployed 2 of those up here, and hopefully that'll make our bunker here just a lot more effective, because these improvised ones are not really pulling their weight. do need to make a couple of t-shirts. We'll make a couple of pants too. Now, who do we have who's good at that? I'm sure we had a decent tailor. No, just Rose. We really need someone with the crafting. Jeez. Rose does everything in this colony, and it's not really the best way to have it done. So if we find someone who crash lands or is even purchasable, I think for a good tailor I would actually spend the money, because there are people who will sell you people. Okay, military grade turrets are done, so we're going to start on the mortars. We're going to lay out our power lines quickly, and then we'll build our military turrets. That's as far as we can actually lay out that power line for now, but that's fine, because right now a more powerful variant of an automated turret, longer dual barrels provide increased range and greater burst, has a higher chance to explode in a radius of 4. So these have more range, more firepower, but if they get taken down, they hurt us more. Good to know. And I think it's literally just 2 of these kind of sellotaped together. It's going to take 8 of our 19 components, so not too far away from half of what we have. And a decent chunk of our steel, which we had like 2,000 of that when I started recording this morning. Manhunt pack. Perfect timing. Where is it? Is that manhunting camels? Okay, Mila. This one has a light on it too, that's cool as hell. Mila and M, let's get you two into position. There's also a timber wolf here. Yeah, I wish we had someone who was a better shot, but we don't, so we'll just have to live with it. Oh yeah, that... that is considerably better. Well, so they're just ignoring the turrets, being animals. They're just gonna run in on us. That's fine. That's, I'm okay with how that turned out. That's some free meat for us. So we'll have Mila. For now, we'll make this medicine bed again. We'll have her lay up. Let's take a look here, see how bad it actually is. Just a bruise. The fridge is nearly full, so I think we're actually just going to kill this grow zone for now. Until we can get into the other fridge over there. We might have to keep both of these, actually. Just have one for, like, unprocessed food and one for the good stuff. James, could you please get up and tend to Mila? Infections will kill you super quick. We'll just... I'm going to assume these are going to bleed out. Yep, death in 2 hours, death in 2 hours. So in the morning we'll probably bring those in to be butchered. Of course we have very little room in here to put them. So some of it might just get left out. But once we get our expanded storage in here, it shouldn't be too much more of a problem. Regular storage there, some more food storage there. Looks like everything's getting repaired and rebuilt. So those military turrets, they kick some ass. Okay, Mila, I think we're actually going to have you prioritize butchering, because if she can get rid of all of the ibex and the rats and things, she might be able to restack the meat so that it doesn't take... Holy crap, those things give a lot of food. Okay, I think in that case, it is time for fine meals. Do forever. So if we can, we'll make fine meals and then simple. Fine meals take meat and vegetables, but they make people happier. And yeah, that's probably going to take her a while to do that. we may have to extend the storage out. I was hoping to avoid doing this in the current state of it. But you know what, it's fine. Rose. Yep, looks like she's already on it. I'll get a wooden door there instead, that'd be great. Architect orders. We will deconstruct all of this. Rose, please prioritize that. And then even once just one bit of this is gone, Architect zone, we'll just drag this and extend it out. There we are. We've just basically doubled the capacity of our storage nearly once this comes away. Well, not even close to doubled, if we're going to be honest. But enough that we won't be wasting like 80 food. And I think that's going to bring us to an end here on this episode of the Garden of Eden. Thanks for joining me, folks. And hopefully, by the time I bring you back for the next time, all of this will be smoothed out. If not, I'll bring you back when something else interesting happens. And I'll see you then.